All right, everyone, welcome back. Here we go. Had some technical difficulties. We've reset to after round one as a compromise because one player was having issues of freezing and then died. So really, this is the best result we can get, and we are moving on. We're going to leave it there. But up one will be Seymour to start off as the reset has happened. And an interesting wall to slow them down in bathroom, and they're just waiting. They're not even going to shoot it. They're just going to let the time elapse until this wall disappears. Not sure what's happening with the overlay here. I guess they're changing some stuff up here quickly. But it's blocking the vision, so I'll have to wait. As there is a orb being grabbed. Someone got to level up towards their ult. But so far, no engagements have ended with, or even started, for that matter. They haven't had any engagements. So moving through bathroom is that stack that we're waiting patiently, and we'll see if the patience pays off. X minus up front with the Spectre, gets the kill on the Char. Milite finds Iquib. The only hotshot does manage to find one as they start to all entangle. But as you would expect, the better guns of the defenders does get the win of the round. Some damage done to minus, but they lived, so didn't die to that frag at the end, luckily. Could have been a weapon loss, but here it's at least a 2-0. Grafton last time had used their timeout at this point. This time it looks like they're not going to do that. I mean, I think we've taken enough time to talk, so hopefully they don't need to use the timeout for a while. They have an idea of what they'd like to do. And here it is, the 5 stack towards B. 2 players here, one of which is a Cypher. So the utility to slow them down is available. The trip mine. And impair now the smoke coming through. But it doesn't slow them down for too long. And with the shotgun in hand, Rowley Rage tries, but does not successfully get Yas, who gets that opening pick. Tombstone finds Seaman, who had just killed their teammate. The only hot shot. Now a 3v4. The plant trying to go down. Yas does get Milite. So 4v2 post-plant for Grafton. looking to repeat what would happen before the reset, which was the rifle round 1. And Waffles gets slapped down by Yas. And iQuip gets in on the action to finish the round. They have 4 left standing on their rifle round. So that'll transfer into this next one. Well, a 5-stack last time now. A little different. We have 3 going to mid, seemingly towards hookah. Could easily rotate over and go somewhere else, obviously. While 2 are going to go for that B long take. Pushing through banana and up towards long. In tandem, timing it, using utility to clear out hookah. They wolf through tree. And then as the flash eye comes through, Yas is going to wait and then go with the second one. It gets the wallbang, but Waffles gets a double to trade it off, giving them the man advantage for Seymour's defense. 2 and Hookah have backed away. The lurker and tree, unknown if they were seen, because I couldn't see when they activated that camera, but potentially did see that player's position. Tombstone does get C-Man. Bring it to a 3v3 execute. The one body is still on A. So it's 2 players here who lock it out. Waffles and Rowley Rage, you know they wanted it. And they take it. The 2v3, not even dropping one body. And Seymour with 3 surviving are left in a great situation up 3-1. Plenty of rifles. They're buy now. It's less costly into this. And on the other side, what do they want to do? Do they want to force buy? You see a Spectre bought some, perhaps not. They think better of it. And instead go for the light econ round. A dog and a flash exchange. The smoke thrown out by the Astra. Another dog coming through. In U-Haul. And into mid. But Milite gets that opening onto Hotshot. Milite carrying, or excuse me, downing the spike, which was picked up then by Brim. Looking for the oversight that Yas seems to like to play in mid. And the peek through does not pay off for Tombstone as C-Man is there in U-Haul. Stop that push. To remind you, this is the finals. This is the first map. And Rowley Rage is alone. And Char gets them down, and Yas follows it up onto Waffles. Milite holding a more passive angle here. Sees the peek out, doesn't get anything for it, but this nade might just land, forcing him off and a lot of damage to Char, but they get swung by Yas, who also gets their teammate to follow for a third. C-Man on the flank, too little, too late perhaps, as they are now in the 1v3. A peek through, and Char can shut them out and pick up another round for Grafton. So now what happens? What do they do? How do they change it up? Both teams, this is again a close affair just like it was right before that reset. It's not any different. I believe the rounds have pretty much fallen exactly the same.
Blinded.
With the Marshal in hand, you have to think these defenders, after losing that round now, are forced to utilize these lesser weapons. A nade that was thrown pretty well over the wall. X minus with the pistol gets that first kill onto Char. Ult being pulled out. Yas does find one. The only hot shot gets Militae as a complimentary pick. Rowley Rage, that top fragger of Yas that we know can be dangerous, gets taken out, but the revive. And the only hot shot is standing their ground. Gets a 3K. Seaman can get them, but that's all.
There.
And that is now 3-3 and 2 in a row. Grafton coming alive on this attacking side. The A execute, the B execute. It's all looking good from them. It's hard to know how fast these rotations can come because there is the possibility of a fake. And so that's why you see these disadvantaged man fights on site. Brawly Rage is going to read into it. An exchange between X- and the hot shot. The only hot shot. It's going to put us in a 4v4. The plant going down through the wall. Milite does take the wall out, but it wasn't enough. Didn't have enough bullets in the chamber to also get the planter, who was right behind that spot. And now with the slow orb, they don't want to push out too far and get caught. And now that's gone. The swings come through. Brawly Rage gets Yas. That impactful fragger, but Tombstone, we've seen them clutch before. And now they have to try again. The defuse is coming through. They need to move through it. And they do. And get the picks necessary to keep this bomb alive. And now Brawly Rage has to retake. And it ain't happening against 3 players standing right in front of you. And that is 3 in a row now. Grafton picking up the pace, laying down the law. And all you really have for Seymour now, at best, an econ round. Shotguns and marshals against these heavy-hitting rifles. Try and make it work. Puts up a cam in tree to feed that information. Here's the sound. Couldn't quite see the smoke, through the smoke, of the players entering. But they know this is where the execute wants to come from. And with the Shudge, Seaman can at least catch one. Char there to trade off their teammate. Now X- does have a revive. But the rotation comes through from Grafton. They've already gone elsewhere. They're in sight. And Yas has pushed through further than maybe expected and catches them with their pants down. X-, punished for the wide peak. Waffle stuck behind a molly. Milite, though, getting in on this round. Not going to let it fall silently into this night. Tombstone does find Waffles, their teammate. So Milite has to have a round of rounds. Gets one, fakes it, gets the 4th! And the clutch. Milite gets the defuse, keeping it all even, putting the team on their back. And what a round it was from the Rays. For a piece after Grafton had seemingly had another ready for them. Milite had other ideas, but now they're going to get pushed here on B long. And they don't have a lot of support nearby, so they back away towards elbow. One player is above in hookah, and one in the back of B. Oh, seeing the body below window though, Yas. And using the invulnerability to escape, they get one and go. And you know what happens next here. They love to teleport away, and here comes the AXEC. But guess what? The defenders are ready. They're already going through CT. They are pushing out. They are retaking A. They know the game you like to play. But still, a man advantage and possibly a second. Not finding the shots, though. Tombstone not able to net that. But the only hot shot does find Seaman on a different flank, and Tombstone eventually does collect that kill on the Milite. Waffles and Raleigh can't do anything. It's a flawless round after an amazing clutch the round before from Milite. It was only a temporary stop to this momentum built up by Grafton.
I need this.
And joining me now, the producer, Tommy, to give my voice a little rest. Self-producing, and we appreciate.
Testing. Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm here with WIHSEA. I am Tomb, stream producer here at Carthage College. It's a blast to be on a cast with you.
Thank you, sir. And the plant is down. No one was here.
They weren't expecting it, trying to rush over.
And man, oh man, the defenders now become the attackers with the retake, but the only headshot
Hot shot
gets...
with a 3K.
I said headshot again, but it's hot shot, and he is eaten up.
Oh, that's what you meant earlier. I thought you meant like... Never mind.
Yas gets one, but is instantly traded. It's now Raleigh Rage in the 1v3 up in Hookah. Wants to collect a better weapon, but as they look towards it, it's a fourth for Hotshot.
Hotshot really found the angles, starting to find their weaknesses, and that was a great plant. They didn't expect it. They had to rush over there. Not a lot of time to plan it out.
They were betting on getting that flank. They're hoping for a slower push, but they left a site available, and it was red. Whether perfectly or just coincidentally, who knows? But it worked, and that's what matters.
Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot.
And we appreciate it. Sure, we all do.
Of course.
But that Cypher still locking down the same site, and you understand why this is a site that does play to his strengths a little bit better than A. It's not as many avenues and angles you have to watch. Either jump down through Hookah, which is usually not actually that great for the attackers, or it's just the tree push. A, too many avenues. And so keeping him there makes sense, but it also makes it predictable.
I mean, they're hard expecting A. I would try and maybe bait this out. Maybe rotate back to B, because not a lot of people over there.
And as you say it, so it will be. To be or not to be.
See, I'm not used to... I don't got the stream producer curse, but now I'm casting. With that and the possibility.
The casting curse, when you say something, it either happens or the opposite happens. And we call it the same. But yes, the opening onto Waffles is something that is not surprising, as they have always been that dog with the team.
Being able to rotate over quickly. Oh, by getting picked off.
Oh, Milite.
Milite with the 4K.
2K. Seaman actually gets a 3K. It's the
Wait,
full house
who?
between the two of them.
I can't. I have to look at the screen. My screen's smaller than yours. Might as well use a 70-inch.
Yeah, I gotta use the 70-inch TV in front of us. That's better than that little monitor. But hey, they've stopped the bleeding a bit. They've kept it close. It's one more round, and if Seymour can do it, that's a split half. Not bad, considering both of these teams with how good their defense of Seymour has been in the past and how good that Grafton attack has been. This is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, we predicted this. Like, the defense that Seymour has and the offense that Grafton has, it was going to collide somehow. And both teams being able to adapt well, trying to find others' weaknesses and trying to be able to really, like, take advantage of that. As we have X- and C-Man getting a couple frags.
Tombstone going to revive. Yes, that opening kill engagement fiend. But it only prolongs the inevitable, which is a round loss unless Yas can miraculously make a comeback of this as they get 2. But the revive means you need 4 more, and it ain't happening. It's the 6-6, an even half to start off our grand final.
I'm actually looking more forward to this half because the this is a weaker half of the both teams, and it's really gonna see like who can really take advantage of the mistakes that are probably gonna happen based off of both teams.
And it's hard to say too because they both started on their strong halves. I think in both maps.
They're gonna start them every single map. Wait, this is the first map.
I meant in their past matches. And so we
right.
haven't seen the weak halves as much. They played out their strong halves fully and then closed out the other half.
If I'm correct, Seymour is also defending every single map, no matter what. So they're starting on their strong half and ending on their weak. So it's really gonna be a battle of who can, I guess, yeah, take advantage of their weaknesses.
Who can read the other better, who can adapt. Adaptability is the game, but the fast push is the game for Seymour's attack, and Seaman opens it up with a double. The only hotshot did trade their teammate of Milite, but as they have entered site and gained control, they have a man advantage. The spike should go down.
That wall being great, giving them time.
And now you have to ask Grafton, what do you do now? You have to respond in kind, and they're choosing instead to body up. The full stack, swing out all three with the flashes. Tombstone does get one, and Char. Oh my. Waffles gets Char as Yas finds a kill, and it's the 2v1. Waffles doing what they can to buy the time necessary. Does get the kill onto Yas. They're starting to stick it, but no, they didn't even get it to the halfway mark. And this is a lost round no matter what based on time. And the kill will come through for a triple in Waffles' name.
I mean, Waffles played that perfectly, using the time to his advantage, knowing that all you need to do is get one and the other will fall.
And we wondered in this half what would happen when they go to the respectively quote-unquote weak sides.
Do you think they're going to quick rush again is a better question. Oh, they aren't.
They are all stacked A, and they are all
Rushing
on attack,
B.
rushing B.
I think they realize that.
And you see a quick teleport through mid for a couple, while only one goes through spawn. And if they're ready for this push through hookah, and they are with that wall, the Sage wall denying it, iQuib now has to wait and play patiently, and they even get hunted down by the Raze drone and finished off. Rally Rage and Milite collecting the first two opening picks.
I mean, now that you have the man advantage, play the time, make them come to you. And that's what they did.
Swing out from Waffles. You have the rifles against pistols. It's just fish in a barrel at this point of that round. And it is now 2 in a row to open up this half for Seymour. A team which is only the 4th seed facing the 2nd seed of Grafton. Perhaps unexpected for some. But now the rifle round of this half starts, the first one. And it's where Grafton has had a lot of success.
I mean, this is where we actually see, rifle on rifle, who's better. You have Grafton coming off 2 weak rounds. Seymour might be underestimating them at this point.
And waiting on the utility usage, you see. Until they have sound, until they have information, and the only hotshot is the one to get that kill to open things up for Grafton. And that's what they needed to start a rifle round after losing the first 2 of this half. They needed that pick.
They're trying to play this smart. They know that they can't afford to lose many more rounds as the lead is slowly getting larger.
And they think they might have A, but there's still 2 players here. Creep through the smoke. There's players ready and waiting, and it is Yas, the first one to take this initial contact of the mid round and gets a double and swings and maybe, yes, can find a third. And now the last in their sights. You know they aren't gonna miss that one. Yas with the 4K to bring us closer One more to tie it up.
Yas really being the player that you need in those pressure situations. That was a round that they needed to win. And Yas came in. He really helped the team. He goes for the plays, but he's confident because he has shown time and time again that he will make those plays when needed. And he has helped to bring this team to where they are currently.
Yas is that player that you talk about trying to put in the best situation possible for whoever the IGL is. You have to enable them. And Waffle's getting a kill onto Yas. The player we just were talking about is going to hurt this Grafton defense immensely. Milite getting IQIB is going to open up the site for this plant to go through.
Milite getting another elimination on Char.
One enemy remaining.
C-Man picking up Tombstone. 5v1. Looking for a flawless round. But also just using time to their advantage.
And this is what happens when you don't enable that player. When they are the one to fall first, you're left in situations like this. You need other people to step up, and missing some shots is the hot shot. And that's all they'll get. A consolation prize. But now up 2 again. And Seymour are going to be happy to continue to exchange 1-for-1 rounds because they know that will lead to a map 1 victory. This can't let Grafton get any streaks going.
I mean, Grafton has shown time and time again they do well with momentum. And the thing that Seymour is trying to counter is their momentum. I mean, in the semifinal, when they had that momentum, when they were going 10-2, when they were on attack, that's when they really thrived. And now they don't have the momentum, you're starting to see them slow down, try and play the game a bit more patiently, making others make mistakes. And it's something that I guess they're trying to adapt to, and they're doing a decent job. They're holding it within 2.
And the shotgun in hand for Milite. They're holding that judge, waiting for the push-in. They have the close quarters of U-Haul. That favors them immensely, and they even have a teammate there with them, but they don't need it for the first. Refrag's coming through, but IQIB, excuse me. They're going to get the double to keep it close. And Rowley Rage gets Char. So it really is up to these last 2 players, and one of them, you can never forget Yas.
They got to pick up the pace.
But IQIB, oh my, they tried everything.
1v1, and there's no time left. He's just trying to save his weapon as...
They both save after the bomb goes off. But that is another round now for Seymour. And you tried your best, IQIB, but you needed another teammate to get a kill. And it didn't happen,
Do you think about calling a timeout soon? Because...
You might want to, right?
I was going to say, they're making the simple mistakes. And when that's happening, you have to sit, rethink, and really go through of what are we really doing wrong that they're countering on.
And this would be a good time, perhaps, to call that, as you are down 3 rounds and 3 rounds away. Maybe after this round, because it should be enough for you to buy next round, economically speaking.
Yeah.
And for our chat asking, is this a best of 3? It is indeed a best of 3, and this is map 1. The side execution comes through, but with a light buy, you're going to play a little more passive, but it doesn't gain you anything. The only hot shot is the one to get the kill, but outside of that, it's been easy pickings.
Rally Rage getting a hot shot as well. Planting, and it should be green grass and gold post probably, as it is Char against the world.
With a stinger, no less. Not a lot to do.
They kind of see him coming too.
Maybe an exit frag, but they're waiting above, and he is not going to check that angle. No shot, and Milite will happily add another tally to their kill count, and that's going to put them now only 2 rounds away. This is the time, perhaps, that we will see a timeout come through, but there's nothing coming through yet. You're only 2 rounds away from losing this map.
Are they that... I'm assuming that they're that confident, like, they must have good energy still, because obviously that's one thing is, like, in esports as well, the mental is a lot. You have to keep good mentality, because once you get down, it's going down. Emotions are contagious within the game. So I'm assuming they still have high energy. I'm assuming they're confident in their game.
Oh, Tombstone. That's a good opening at least. That'll give you the confidence. C-Man is dead. Yas is locking the other bomb site down. They're waiting. They think it's going to be B, and it might be looking at how these attackers are now reforming over towards that side.
They're splitting up. I don't know if that's the best play currently, but it looks like they're going towards B.
Through hookah.
Smoke.
1 through tree, 3 through hookah, and they have read this pretty well, it seems, on the side of Grafton. And Yas gonna be ready and waiting. And can't
Picking up one.
take him out as Yas finds a second. IQuib gets one. And
X
now
minus,
X minus
minus.
with a nice flick, but can't get a second. IQuib there to swing out as their teammate fell.
I feel like Seymour was left out in the open there. Not really using the angles to their advantage. They kind of rushed in blindly, and it kind of showed. Like they had the number advantage there. There were still 2 people in A at that time, and continue to rush B. So
The op is a scary weapon. It really does force you to rotate, but oftentimes what you'll see is ops are not paired with the body counts, meaning that they should still have known that there would be more bodies on the other side, but they still walked into it. And like you said, they didn't necessarily have the right positioning or awareness to get the refrags. But here, a quick execute in towards that A bomb site, jumping up top. They're not even aware.
oh,
But hey, the refrag's there. Only Hotshot does get that refrag using their ult. But they need to buy a little more time for their teammates to get there. The reinforcements are coming, and they get a kill on top of it. 4v3, but the spike will go
Wall
down.
being able to help. Good angle by C-Man.
X minus minus in U-Haul. Getting a crossfire with the Cypher of Raleigh Rage.
Using brute
These two
force
have
to
to
beat the
clutch it.
wall.
Using that camera to feed information as well. But the wall doesn't last for
They're
so
playing.
long, and I think each player might have saw each other there. As
They're
Char does
playing
get
time
1
well.
and 3 for the round. And the defuse coming through. Grafton now didn't need that timeout apparently, as they now have 2 in a row to bring us closer. Still 2 more to get to a tie. So they're going to have to go on a little bit longer of a streak if they want to at least put more pressure on Seymour.
I like the way Grafton's playing it, spreading out the team, and immediately communicating, immediately rotating once players are spotted. You see Seymour, they're rushing quickly, and as much as being quick is good, and it will throw the team off guard, especially with them being separated, you might need to take more time to be able to
Oh, an
get
opening again.
surroundings.
It's Tombstone with that op. They can revive their teammate, so there is that. But I was going to mention, too, that opening engagements have been pretty impactful, and you hear the teleportations come through, and then the utility is used to slow it down. Smoke and grenades being used, and a drone.
My ultimate is ready.
It's impressive to see how fast the response is from this Grafton defense. Slow down any teleportation, fast, quick pushes. You're not going to fool us like that anymore. You had some early rounds on your attack like that, but Grafton, they're no fools.
Cage triggered.
And some shots going through by Char. He's ridding into this pretty well. Does some light peppering. Does damage teammate, but
Rotating back over to
Tombstone.
B.
Oh my, poetic in a way that they get the kill onto that player they killed earlier who was revived. Waffle still falls prey to the same thing. And a second now, a third technically, because of the revive from Tombstone. And they get a fourth. They could even get a 6K technically if they find the last 2 because of that revive. Swinging through and up top in hookah. You know one is playing there. C-Man doing everything he can, feeling desperate here in the 2v4. And their teammate even falls on top of it. And not to be for
C-Man.
Tombstone.
Oh, he doesn't see that player defusing.
Oh no! But
Oh.
getting off of it is Char, and he has it halfway. Plenty of time. It was close. C-Man really made it around. It was looking dire, but somehow almost brought it back. But still, Char holds their nerve and doesn't hold the plant longer than necessary to get that 1v1 clutched up. And now it's only 1 round away. Tying it up. And both teams can smell that finish line. And perhaps even overtime, if both of them want it bad enough.
I think you were dead on with these opening engagements are really the turning tide on whether or not who wins. You can see confidence, I guess, with opening engagements as Yas picks up Milte and Seaman gets Char.
I've got your trail.
Oh, it's Yas trying to do damage here. Does so. The shotgun isn't going to do that much damage from that range, so he's going to win that engagement partially here. But as the plant goes down, they need that wall gone, and he shoots it before it can go. The spike is down.
That was great teamwork, getting that snipe off right when the wall broke.
Oh, and the wall bang from Yas on top of it. iQuib. Oh, no. It falls apart. The Seymour attack starts strong, but falters when it matters most. Grafton bring it back to even, and now Econ is going to start being questionable.
I mean, Grafton proved us all wrong. They don't need a timeout at all. They have the confidence, and they know that. Grafton also gaining momentum. That's dangerous to see. How is Seymour going to counter that momentum? Is Seymour thinking about maybe taking a timeout soon? That's something you have to think of.
This is their last full buy. If they lose this round, they go into map point with an Econ round. They have full bought here. They are banking on this round on attack, and X- delivers an opening pick. But can they find more?
Causing iKib to back off. Giving them some room to work with.
And the Astra ult is going to force these defenders back. Milite gets another kill. This is looking great. The investment worthwhile, but they're forced off of the plant temporarily by that breach ult. The orbital strike delays, but it doesn't stop. And you see now the plant being continued through. It's a 3v5 retake. For Grafton, what do? Do they save for the next? Do they have enough to just go for it and hope for the best? And the swing out from Char at least can get one to make it so they have a little confidence. And a revive now. It gives them hope. It gives them a chance. Tombstone and Char find one each, but the refrag from Rally Rage puts us back into a 2v2 post-plant. Time ticking down and down and down, and the swing out and the op shot. Tombstone wants to end it here, wants to end it now. They need this round, and he misses the shot on the op, and Seaman clutches it, putting us on the map point of valiant effort. But the post plant too strong because of Seaman's clutches.
That's a second clutch we've seen by Seaman, and he uses his time wisely. He knows that they have to go for that at a certain point, and he just makes them come to him. At that point, he has all the confidence in the world because he's Seaman. Why not?
And one just ever so slight error, in my opinion, to put the Opper as the one guarding. You have to have the utmost confidence, because if they miss the shot, it's done. There's no chance they get a cock on that bolt to be able to do another shot. You probably want the AR guarding the diffuser. But Tombstone's trying to make up for it here with a double to open it up. Are we going to overtime? Grafton, they want it. They're reaching. They start with 2. Tombstone with this op has been the linchpin of this defense. And some picks coming on the other side, though. Milite, while damage, does take out Yas.
Seymour trying to rethink this out. Obviously getting 2 of your teammates out quickly.
Oh, he healed the wrong person. He healed the less damaged person. Raze is now still on such a sliver, and they're dead. Milite, that health was for you. And it didn't land properly. A 2v4 now for the first map of the finals.
It's another simple mistake that we see by Seymour, and Grafton countered on it. Realistically, if they healed the right person there,
30 seconds left.
it would be a
minus.
43.
They're kicking themselves right now, but they can't afford to be distracted. It's still doable. On the other side, Char has to stand strong with their teammate of Tombstone, who has that op. They can lock it down as they have to execute through mid here.
Saving?
There is no save. It is overtime after this. And it is indeed so, as Char gets 3 on this round to follow up the 2K from Tombstone to bring us to OT, where everything is reset. You have a set limit for everyone. Everyone has the same amount of money. So you're going to buy out. There's not enough to get an op, really, unless you don't want to buy shields. So we're going to see full rifles, full shields. And it is tit for tat here. 6-6 on each half, as even as it can get.
Yes,
Absolutely unreal.
this is a nice spot.
But who has that dog in them? Who has that championship level performance? Who has ice in the veins? The clutch gene needs to come through for someone.
I mean, I think you're right at this point. It's who wants it more? Who's going to be aggressive and who is going to be confident within their plays? We don't want to see hesitation out here, as even though this is only map 1 is a turning point. It really puts pressure of whoever's down.
And 6-6 on each half for both teams means there is no advantage here. Grafton on attack. Seymour on defense. They both start on their comforts.
Playing it slower instead of fast like normal.
X minus trying to peek out and get a slow orb. They do it towards tree. It's going to buy that much more time. But you know what they like to do, which is teleport away, and it's like they're reading into this because they did not stack onto that bomb site. They're already rotated to A, so this should be basically a 5v5. This rotate is not going to net them much. And from the side, they know C-Man gives away the position, and they miss so many shots that Yas can't help but take that one. And now with the opening picks in their favor, it's a 5v3 post plant for Grafton to open up this overtime. Raleigh Rage gets a kill, takes out Char, but still, with this bomb ticking away, you have to be aggressive. You have to risk something. Are the peaks there? And they are. The cross angles. They hold. And they hold the line and take the first round of overtime. It's Grafton to take the lead.
Grafton has a tremendous momentum. I mean, coming back from being down 3, I believe, and
yeah, 10-7.
now being able, putting the pressure on Seymour as this is match point in overtime.
Need help.
I don't know if it's the same ruling as NECC, so is it after this it's like next point win?
I think that's only for Siege. For us in NECC, it was unlimited overtime. Just kept going. So we'll see. I don't know exactly what the rules are, but in this case, Grafton are poised as they switch over to the defense. They won their strength.
Grafton walking out with some confidence. They want this badly. So does Seymour, and they won't stop till they get it.
The peek's through. It's a trade. Waffles felled. Yas gets one, but it's only so much they can do alone on site, and they are done. As Raleigh Rage puts a bullet in their head to try and keep this overtime going.
3v2. They got to play this one slowly. Great wall.
But the op is in the hands of Tombstone. You can never count them out.
Tombstone showing time and time again that he has what it takes to clutch in these moments.
They're going to use that stim to try and move faster, increase their movement speed to throw him off. Does he round the corner? He does, but he has an op in hand. Not the weapon you want there. And while it was a valiant effort, it's still a round for Seymour to stay alive. And it's all back to even. Double overtime.
Both teams show they want to be here. I said at the start of the overtime that it's who wants it more. It's who can capitalize off mistakes. They both want it badly.
Who wants to be done first and move on, because they might give up. But unlikely with how hungry they look, like you said. The main thing, though, is fatigue. We've had a long day. We've had tech issues, and now a long match on top of it. Who's going to lose focus first?
This is also the first time this season that they've been doing best of 3. They're normally used to best of 1, so after this,
Spike down A.
even the second map, we might see a tremendous change in pressure and a tremendous change in gameplay just based off of fatigue, as you were saying.
And Grafton, they lose an opening engagement, and another follows. This is looking dominant from Seymour on this opening double overtime round. The defense holding strong.
4 versus 2 as they rotate over to B, but Seymour follows because they see that rotation quickly.
That
X
Molly missed too.
minus already there.
One enemy remaining.
There it is, Waffles with the 4. The quad kills. Put them on top now. The shoe is on the other foot. Grafton, you won the first round of overtime, but now you're in dire straits.
I'm looking for Seymour to give the knockout punch. See this, another confident round from them as they would move on to map 2 if they win this. Grafton, still, you can never give up on them. They will fight till the last moment. We called this time and time again, but these are 2 evenly matched teams. And they're just proving that.
Blow for blow, but who has the knockout punch, like you said? Char being pushed back. This is Grafton's defense, and the missed op shot by Tombstone. You don't see it too often, but it happens at the worst of times. And now they have to hold out a defense of a 5-4. It's not in their favor, but there is the only hot shot. And yes, the 2 players we have called upon in many times, yelled out their names, sung praises. Char, if he doesn't check this right corner, it could be over, but he does, and Seaman is going to be found. As Rally Rage does get the plant down, but still, despite that, it's a 4v2 retake. And last time when it was them doing this, they won it, and it looks like it'll be the same. A triple overtime set as this defuse comes through.
I don't think anyone thought we'd be going to triple overtime. I didn't think we'd be going to triple overtime.
Well,
I didn't think with these technical difficulties.
for sure,
Overtime.
they can't blame the tech stuff anymore. I mean, if it's this close. With a match like this, it's really who can make the adjustment now, because they've seen what they have to offer. There's not a lot more that you could have kept in the tank. You couldn't have hidden some strat that you'd only pull out in triple overtime. It doesn't work that way. So now, on the fly, which IGL...
Well, don't jinx it.
which IGL has the inspiration to throw something new? And will it be to their demise? Or will it be the clutch, the call?
I think they read this push right.
As Grafton now, in triple overtime, go back onto the attack. And Yas lurks near the bathroom corridor.
I think the player at A may try and bait them out.
Or if he finds free ground here, they might rotate over. It's all up to Yas here. If he can get an opening pick, they can start to move in. And there's a little bit of intelligence coming from Rowley Rage. And they're going to see that camera, and they're going to know Yas is here. And in the meantime, X minus takes out Char. As Grafton once again on their attack in overtime, they lose the opening engagement.
Need that back. Blocking vision.
And they've stacked up and chosen to still pursue in through that washroom. They get 1 for 2 so far in this round. As Waffles could try and wallbang, and they don't know exactly where this plant is going down. But the wallbang is found by Seaman instead, as Milite also pushes up. The plant didn't go through, and somehow the only hot shot, has to make this a 1v4, now a 1v3, as he's caught unaware from the bathroom door as a team ace.
What's a team ace? I'm sorry.
Every person on that team got a kill that round, meaning 1 kill per person.
Oh, that makes sense.
The ultimate sign of a good team is when you see many team aces. And if you look, they're pretty even, while on the other side, Grafton have heavily relied on their top fraggers, especially Yas with 36 kills. But just because you have one big fragger like that doesn't guarantee you anything, as we are seeing them down a round in triple overtime. And now on their defense, they fight to push it to a 4th.
Healing over here. Time to hunt. Scout destroyed.
Grafton looking to hold on. Not wanting to give this up.
And the teleport trick comes through. Just what you'd expect. And the rotates also from those defensive players. And they rely on Tombstone to lock out the site while the reinforcements need time to get there. Yas also gets waffles. And a planter killed.
Down A.
As Char gets eyes onto X and stops them.
One enemy remaining.
And finds also Rally Rage now. As the last player is in U-Haul, it's Seaman. And they're not going to get checked and get 2 for that aggressive oversight.
Seaman is not giving up, but you got to be aware of
30 seconds.
Tombstone, as you know he's lurking somewhere.
But they have the bomb down and they know it. And they only have to play time and crossfires and it is over. Seaman has to hope for 1v1s. But Tombstone with that op
I believe that was a 3K?
guarantees us a 4th overtime. How long can this go?
At this point, it's who's going to get the most tired. You were talking about fatigue, and you were talking about who wants to give up. Like, that's got to be rolling through their minds at this point.
With how long the day's been, with how long this match has been, for only half a second, do you just have a little bit slower reaction? Do you just unfocus your eyes at the wrong time? Just the smallest things that wouldn't affect you now can come into play.
A blink of the eye could ruin your entire game.
It really could. As Grafton now
horrible
on
to
their
think about.
attack.
Scout destroyed.
They're really hoping for something here. They have not had success on their attacks the last few overtime rounds. But they've made up for it with their defense. And some information gleamed from that wolf into U-Haul. There are 3 players here on this defensive setup from Seymour. But with that nade, it could slow down this plant. They don't even care. They stick right through it. But it cost them 2 bodies. And the push out from Yas with the only hot shot as well getting a kill is going to allow them to even it back up. And the post plan here, they're really hoping that they can hold out on time and just win this round. As the peaks come through, iQuib does get a kill on the Rally Rage. Yas falls though. X finding them. And time is of the essence, and it's the only hotshot who can come out with the 3 kills necessary to move them forward.
Switching sides.
Match point, and Seymour now back on it. It's been going. This is the 2nd time for Seymour, and Grafton has had it 2 times, so seems pretty even.
Pretty crazy. The first overtime, Grafton were up just like this and lost their next round. And after that, it's been Seymour opening the first round. And now on the 4th, it's back to the first. And do we keep going round and round and round? Or can Grafton actually finish it off here? Get the fatality going. Rip the spine out from Seymour. And Yas, with the opening pick, is hoping to do just that. With a 3K from Yas. This could be it. This could be the magic necessary. He gets a 4th. Not the ace, but it's just enough maybe. And it is, as X can't bring it back from Yas. The 4K to put the 4th overtime to bed.
As we finish map 1. No, I'm not on camera. I'm still behind your stream producing. But as we finish map 1, we see those key players that we have been talking about the entire time. Yas, I mean, he's at that top. 42 eliminations. He is their top fragger by far.
4 overtimes is insane. It does not get to that point without it being a close matchup. This is a best of 3 for the finals. And Yas just put his team in the perfect position to gather the trophy, but they have to win one more map of the next 2. Speaking of, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with that map 2 in just a moment.
Hello?
Hello and welcome. Welcome back to the finals of the Division II Wisconsin High School Esports Association. I've got to say the whole thing.
WIHSEA
It's a WIHSEA.
Grand Finals for Valorant. We have Seymour losing the first map in quadruple overtime
to Grafton. And, well, if you paid attention or were there for the last round, you saw Yas, who had at 1.36 kills. I didn't even see the final score. Was that before they got the
He
4K?
had 46 kills in total.
Oh, my. Okay, so that was a little earlier.
No, more like 42 kills. But, yeah, he had a lot. Yas being a key player for his team. And you kind of tell, like, the momentum shifts when he goes down. He's a very clutch player. He has shown time and time again. And if you can, one, get off early, like the early battles that we were talking about, whoever gets a first elimination, that's normally a big momentum shifter, as well as clutch players, if you can keep them alive longer, it'll most likely be looking good for you.
And, you know, it sounds obvious. You get the first kill, you're more likely to win. But it seemed more so for this matchup than in the other matchups we saw earlier. You saw teams clutch out 3v4s all the time. Here, though, it's been more impactful. And to start things off, Yas is taken out by Brawly Rage. C-Man finds Tombstone as well. Mistake onto the only hot shot. But in the meantime, a lot's falling in the favor of these attackers. But still, it's only one left. And that is Brim, and they have the spike. And as he swings out from the side, he's found, but actually it's C-Man who gets that kill and gives Seymour the first round of this map, which I just learned, because I didn't know going into this, to be honest, whose map choice was what. They kind of just talked it out and figured it out quick, so I didn't get any graphics to tell me, but this is Seymour's map choice. So they brought their opponent to quadruple overtime. Now, they did lose still, but it just shows how close they were on not their own map choice. So here, they're probably coming in still feeling good. Yes, you lost a quadruple overtime, but that's not even your map choice. So you probably feel pretty good.
I also overheard during that break that they've only ever practiced the previous map once. So for ever practicing that previous map once, going to quadruple overtime against a team who's really good on attack, as well as you're obviously good on defense, like, you should still be happy with that outcome. Like, I heard them, and they were confident and happy with what happened. Like, yeah, they were talking about some mistakes, but they knew what was going on, and they know what they need to fix, and that's great.
Oh, so much information being gleamed here. Brawly Rage can see a couple just stacking up
I can't use that.
towards B.
This
Here
is when it
comes the
reminds
push.
me a lot of Siege.
C-Man gets one. Middle A and X- find some as well. Yas is the only one getting kills, and he's found two. But that's all his entire team will find.
Gun here.
And that is a second round in a row.
Jet has nothing
What
on
you'd
me.
expect after winning the pistol for Seymour. And here we go. The old, reliable, the rifle round. And this is where we have seen that Grafton does shine. Last map, it was similar. They lost pistol, they lost the round after, and then bam, as soon as these rifles are in hand, it's a different game for them.
As much as that is true, you can tell Seymour is so much more confident on this map. They know it like the back of their hand, and they're working it to their advantage. They probably know Grafton doesn't have that much practice as Seymour, so they're really pushing it. As Char gets a quick pick. That's okay.
With a Spectre in hand, you have to think, was this somewhat of a lighter buy for the defense of Seymour, just trying to do a bonus round, some econ damage on their opponents? Plant will go down, so post-plant will ensue. The 4v5 retake for Seymour. And there's a lot of utility as this KJ is able to throw down some mollies, and the players are able to relocate to where they would like to take these engagements and get the crossfires. One of the first engagements is lost by Yas, but the only hot shot is there to back him up and get two. Waffles does find one, but the only hot shot is on a tear. The 3 kills on the round, Tombstone can finish it off. They
Tombstone
keep 3
always
alive.
there. He is always there. You don't want to get him to have enough money where he can buy that rifle, because it's over.
An unsung hero, perhaps, even Tombstone, with that op late in the rounds, especially overtime, getting opening picks on many of the rounds that they ended up winning.
I would honestly say that's also Seymour partially being sleepy. Like, they're not being careful with the peeks that they're taking in the corners, and Grafton and Tombstone specifically was just countering that immediately.
Well, they just lost a round now. Hoping to get back to the form beginning of this map. Milite has backup. But the Jet is actually going to go back through CT and relocate towards mid. But these attackers don't know exactly what they want to do either. They haven't fully stacked anywhere, and there is Yas taking ground. Finds a tripwire for the trouble, but still has taken control of the B bomb site. But the other players need to get in, and they need to get in with the bomb. And in doing so, they can now plant.
Plant going down, reinforcements coming. As rotations seem to be occurring.
Ooh! Some nice headshots coming out from Milite and Seaman to allow this post-plant situation to be that much more of a winnable situation. 3 more bodies are lurking in sight. Can they work as a team? Can they trade out and get this defuse? Milite does get Iquib. Yas gets one back. And Yas gets another. He has to do it all, but he doesn't manage to find Rowley Rage. And you see 3 other people had done damage with him. So 4 different players had gotten shots onto Yas, and he's the 4th one. And that's what it took to take him down and get that round.
Yas is very close to being called unstoppable. Time after time again, he is getting pick after pick after pick. He is really making Seymour be aware of their econ. And that's something that you don't really see a lot in this game, but when it's a 5v1, 4v1, you can't be losing 2 to 3 people just to get that one kill. You got to be letting them come to you. And I think Seymour is almost getting a bit too aggressive where they're just falling right into his trap, and that's how he's getting a lot of picks.
Get out of my way.
He's playing these angles that they just don't seem to be ready for. And he's able to capitalize on that and hurt them. But still, a round is a round. You'll take the wins as they come. And this attacker Killjoy coming out from Grafton will push them back, but it's not enough to make them leave sight entirely. And that is concerning. Seaman does get a kill, but Yas with those knives in hand, and the only hot shot is still keeping up pace, getting 2. And Yas over-aggresses. There's no one there for the refrag. And while the plant can come through, it's still a 2v2. This is not guaranteed, especially with Sky on such little health.
They know someone's down there.
And that's your big player. Iquib, with that little HP, does find Rowley Rage, but their position is known. X minus is going to try and bounce a shot off towards them and gather that information with the recon dart. And it pings him at the worst time. With that little HP, he doesn't even need to be grounded. Just a shot in the leg. And that's another round found for Seymour.
Seymour really showing that this is who they are. I mean, they have shown time and time again they know their defense, and they are proving it to the point of this is their map, and they want Grafton to know they are here to compete. I would not be surprised if this goes to a map 3.
A close affair did not dishearten them to lose in quadruple overtime. And when it's that close, it's not hard for the mentality to get hurt. It's actually quite frightening when you lose an overtime because you know how close it was versus a 9-13 loss. Then you're like, okay, whatever, we move on. It was their map choice. But when you're so close, you kind of kick yourself thinking, oh, what could have been? But here, it doesn't look like that's affecting them at all.
They weren't kicking themselves. They were happy because they didn't really practice that map much, and it's really showing that they really kept their energy up, and Grafton is trying to find their energy. They're trying to find their momentum because they are great with momentum, as they have shown time and time again.
And we've complemented their attacks, and that's what started off that quadruple overtime. That 4th one is where they found the attacking round and were able to carry it through, but here the attack is crumbling. It's an econ round, sure, but they've only still found 1 kill, and that is it. They don't damage the economy of Seymour, and they can just continue on. This train keeps rolling.
With the momentum keep going to Seymour and the pace starting to pick up.
Yes.
Wondering if timeout should be getting called soon. I mean, Grafton, last time we said they should be calling a timeout, they proved they did not need one, and they came back and they ended up winning the map after being down 3. So I'm willing to wait and see what Grafton has in their pocket.
And the question then is, when is it the right time? Because you are down 5-1, and you are halfway through this half, and you get 1 per half. So you might as well use it, especially when you're having a streak against you.
But you don't want to wait too long. We don't want to use it too early. No.
Right? It's that weird game of yin and yang. Where's the balance to be found?
I've got your trail.
And there's the ult coming out from the sky of Grafton.
Here.
And the plant as well.
That was a great plan executed.
X-minus does get a kill with the bow. Yas finds one. The only hot shot finds another. Waffles does kill Yas and Tombstone. And Quib gets a trade. But they're in a 1v2. We've seen them in this situation before. It's a hard spot. And now they're being pinged, and they're being hunted, and they're being dusted. It's swept aside is the loss of map 1. And asserting dominance is Seymour in this first half, up 6-1.
Seymour really looks comfortable on this map,
We know more than we did before.
and it shows of why they picked it.
The goldfish mentality coming through. Forget what happened before.
5 seconds and flush it.
That was about the lifespan of a goldfish, I think.
Oh, I was just talking about like toilet. It was 5 seconds and flush it down the drain, then you're good to go.
I see. I thought you were talking about the goldfish.
Ah. Well, you do flush goldfish down the toilet when they die. At least that's common. Imagine all goldfish in sewers.
I don't want to imagine that, so I'm going to focus on the game now. Well, the 5 stack going through mid to tree. Well, 4, in fact, sorry. There isn't one actually going through a main. This is an interesting push. There's no refrag possible when you have a player alone like that. But even with the refrag possible, Tombstone, their teammate, they don't get that refrag. And now with the peeks through, Milite's looking sharp. Seaman also. Yas can get one. But again, what can one man do alone? He needs help. And the only hotshot is the other one who has been getting kills consistently. But still, in this kind of situation, there's just no hope and no solace found as this wave gets bigger and taller. Insurmountable is a word that comes to mind if this were to continue.
I wish I knew what that meant. Insurmountable, it's like
You can't overcome it.
Oh.
Yep.
I'd be a great caster. Put me on. Pure entertainment.
Yeah, you had that good that voice there. You had that.
Of course. It's a radio announcer in me.
Yeah, you should
Well,
talk
radio.
like that more often.
Okay, buddy. I see how it is.
Well, they think about shutting the door and then they shoot it. Stop it. And Tombstone gets an opening. So there is the opening. There is the pry through with this hard shell that Seymour is seemingly put together. And Yas is cracking it further, making that gap more of an opening. Waffles gets the kill on the only hot shot. Another player who we mentioned has probably been the most consistent so far in this map.
They're doing a good job controlling point currently.
And
Say
after
more.
losing opening engagements, it doesn't seem to hurt them too much. But Tombstone, with 3 now on this round, is saving the day.
Spike planted.
And with the 1v3 from Milite,
He's going to go for it. I was going to wonder if he was going to save, but
with the econ they have, probably not. But still, it's going to give it a go. Can they find at least one? No. The wall bang from Char at least nets them 2.
so when it was 7-1, I was about to debate about talking about timeouts again. But right whenever I'm about to say that, they always seem to come back, gather their ground, and I mean, Tombstone always there with the opening frag. time and time again, like when you think back to all the opening frags that happened for Grafton, most of them were Tombstone.
This goes here.
So great job to him being aware and looking.
X marks the spot. I wanted to say that because
Get out of my way.
Tombstone.
look at the trip mines makes an X.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Tombstone.
I mean, X could mark the spot of a tombstone too, I suppose.
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense now thinking about it. Oh,
Where it should go. The only hotshot gets 2 kills to open this. They found
quick
a
plant
haven
too.
on B bomb site on this attack.
Spike planted.
1 round to get them to 2, and now another in a row to get them possibly to 3, and it looks like a save coming from Seymour. And they're just going to play for exits here. As while it was getting away from them, Grafton now on this B bomb site.
I think this was actually a really good decision. I mean, kind of regrouping, and you can use this time to talk with the team. Say, they have us these couple rounds. What can we do to fix it? You don't need to call them a timeout. You have 60 seconds here.
Yeah,
And-
waiting for this bomb to go off. You can sit here and just chat. Hey guys, what should we do? What should we change? Right? And that is a good question now because they have to respect that B bomb site more than they have been.
See, the only hot shot in Yas up there with the kills.
And C-Man, I think, on the other side, has been someone we haven't really talked about, but they...
Seaman has always been there to finish. He is always the person there to refrag. And we haven't been talking about him, but that was one thing I was noticing is he refrags. Always there to support your teammates.
That is going to flush them out of this B bomb site. So while they did respect it and did plan for this, what can you do? Well, the range isn't long enough, but oh, impair with the orbital strike. It allows no room for Seymour to do anything here. And this is a free plant.
Spike planted.
And the only hotshot does, again, get an opening pick. Is that 3 in a row now? Seaman and Milite. Yeah, that's how you say it. Flanking on that. I almost said military. But they're going to get those picks. And they're going to open this up. A Tombstone, we've seen them come in clutch. And there's the 3.
One enemy remaining.
And it's a 1v1. They have their turret. They need to just not overstep themselves here. And out with the swing. Oh, the missed shots. Does the swing come through and catch them? It does. And it's just in time. So close, Tombstone. But not enough bullets in the chamber.
Clutch.
And so far now
Now this
was that
is
win.
serenity.
Milite kind of
Throps?
lost sight of Tombstone.
Last round.
I mean, when you blind him inside, I feel like you should be expecting him to come out. And he just went in and lost track and almost paid for it.
Yeah, he really almost had that pick, and that would have put them to 7-4 instead. Maybe 7-5 if they catch this round. But now, the best you can do is a 1-to-2 ratio and 8-to-4. And that's all right on Ascent. It's all right, but it's not great.
I mean, going into the... Well, especially with both of these are their strong suits. Going into their hard suits and,
I've
like,
got your trail.
what they aren't good at, having a 2-to-1 ratio is really good.
Well, if we're saying strong suits, we should say weak suit, I think.
Weak suits? Okay. I said hard suits.
Or
I
soft
think.
suits, maybe.
Soft suits? No, but that sounds like you're babying it.
Spike planted.
Either way, opening pick, again, is in the favor of Grafton. But last time, it didn't work out. And Yas and Igib
One enemy remaining.
are going to try and close this out. Rowley Rage has other ideas with 2. This is the last round, so there's no point in saving. He has to go for the clutch. Has to go basically for the ace. And as he throws his ult, the only hot shot is able to swing out. And they do manage to get to that 4. As they switch sides. And like you said, this is where things start to get a little odd. With Grafton, this is not as comfortable for them. And we say that despite it being almost perfectly even last map between their attack and defense, but I will agree they do look a little better on their attack.
They do look a little better on their attack, and especially with, you can tell that Grafton doesn't know this map nearly as well as Seymour. And I think Seymour's just going to use that to their advantage, even on attack. Even like if that is weak, even if it's not weak, if that's their like weaker part of them, they will still, I feel like, succeed on attack just because they know the angles, they know the routes, they really know this well. As both teams oddly evenly seem to know the map well on the last map.
Pushing through on the pistol round. It's now Seymour's turn to show the aggressive attack, and they get a trade with iGib. But then what follows is a flurry in their favor. And now 2 players left on the side of Grafton. And it's the one shot, hot shot, and Char who have to try and make this magic a reality. And there's one, but that might be all that's found.
3v1.
And Milite is able to get the triple. And it's pretty much done at this point as the swing comes through. And the refrag is there. A 4K for Milite to start off the second half. And their map choice is looking like a wise one.
As much as this is a very dominant map by Seymour, you never count Grafton out. They will always come back time and time again. Like we were talking about, do they need the timeout? They really didn't. They brought it back to within 4. It's how will they bring it back all the way is a real question. I feel like even if you don't take a timeout, take a minute to just think.
We haven't seen them in this big of a deficit, that's for sure.
I don't think they've ever been used to this big of a deficit. They've seemed to be in control most of their... I mean, both teams, I believe, undefeated.
Yeah, most of the tenure through this league. And now
The thing is, this league is so big that they don't get a chance to see all the teams.
Take the plant down. 5v5 post plant. Char does get one with a pistol onto Raleigh Rage. But Seaman and Milite are able to use those better weapons and try and shut this one down. The only hot shot can only find one.
Yeah,
And
predicting
Yas
the
alone.
rotating around, I believe.
And 3 for Seaman this time. Each player able to stand up and get multi-kill rounds for the side of Seymour. We talked about it last map. They're more of a team that's complete versus on the other side you have superstar players like Yas. In map 1, Yas was the one who stood up and made Seymour sit down at the end of it all. And that last round getting a 4K. But here, where is Yas? When you don't have him putting up superhuman numbers, can other people fill in those gaps?
That's when it goes back to the team aspect of chemistry and really like trusting the basics. And as much as Yas is always there to clutch, it's if they do the
nice
small
shot.
things right and they can, I mean, what they're doing right now with iKib and Tombstone finding early frags.
No. He loses to a machine pistol there. Oh, that's rough. But hey, it's fine. It's the only one to fall until that last shot, but it doesn't matter. Still 3 alive. And it was a little bit of a bonus round, though, from Seymour. They did not really full buy there. Not everyone had the greatest weapons, so now they can full buy knowing that they took out a couple bodies. And knowing there's at least going to be a lighter buy, and you can see it coming through as the Spectre is in the pocket of one of those players on the other side. And that's iQuib. The one who died to the machine pistol, so I guess it makes sense. You know, that's your punishment for losing that gunfight.
How bad is a machine pistol?
I mean, it's not awful, but when you have a rifle in hand,
That's fair.
you know,
Or you can just get good and
that's always my advice when people have a poor game or lose. Get good.
I would have done better, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, trying to
down
get that
one.
wall.
Stay down.
C-Man pushing in, getting 2 to open up this round. The attacks are back on point. Yas bringing it back for their
Spike
team,
planted.
but still down a man, and the plant is completed. Decent smokes coming
Not
through.
down a man anymore.
No, up one now. In fact,
One
the
enemy
pendulum
remaining.
swings, and Yas with the 4, bringing it back, not letting it fall. And just when you need him most, he answers the call.
Told you, we can't let Grafton go away from this because they'll always find a way to crawl back. And they really know how to get back in it when it means.
All right, I promise that was not meant to rhyme. That was not meant to be a rhyme. I just realized I rhymed there.
You did?
Said not letting him fall. Answers the call. I just realized.
We have Wes out here dropping some beats. You can expect it on Spotify.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, I was throwing a little shit. I admit that a little bit, but come on, like we caught it on camera. I can't not say anything about it.
I know. You're just like that good at casting where you automatically think about that stuff, you know?
That's what we do. But here, with the knives in the hands of Seaman, he got a double entry before. They still lost, but he got a double entry before. And now the knife. He has to put away those knives until this wears off. His knife is countered, or his knives are countered by the single knife of that KO. Trying to shoot through the smoke is Raleigh Rage. Seaman does get to pull those knives back out, and this is what he can do with them. Gets that pick. Picks up a...
Sounds like Tombstone up there.
Oh, yeah. Picked up a good rifle, but Yas is coming.
Spike down.
The reinforcements are there. iQuib finds Waffles and Yas. Jet v Jet comes out on top. Milite all alone with the Marshall. There is no way. And the 3K from Yas. A quiet start, but a 4 and a 3 in the last 2 rounds is going to put his kill count back up towards the top.
Seymour starting to, I feel like, slow down. They had a good tempo going, and they kind of lost it. On attack, I feel like, especially against Grafton, where defense isn't their strong suit, you might as well try and
Find the weak point and
go and push, I feel like. Show aggression, be able to counter, and show that you know what you're doing.
Knife trying to gather information. Are they pushing A? It missed. And so what do they read into this? Do they trust it? And seemingly so, as Yas is alone. And he's going to face a barrage
It's Yas,
of
though,
players.
so you can't leave him out.
Oh, and the utility is going to feed him information. He tries to pre-fire the swing, but instead, it's Char with the 3K.
One enemy remaining.
The only headshot finding X minus, and this could be a flawless.
Flawless.
And it is Char
With a 4K.
with the 4. We mentioned it can't be all Yas, and there is one other player who can stand up and help this comeback become a reality.
I would start thinking about even a timeout for Seymour. Like, even though you're up by 2, the momentum is shifting, and Grafton with momentum is a dangerous thing to be looking at. However, Seymour with this map choice, confident, good vibes, they'll keep pushing.
We were at 9-4 at one point.
Now it's 10-8. So it's a 1-4 within the past 5 rounds.
80% win rate those last few rounds.
Really?
Yeah, quick math for you.
I wish I had the sound effect on here, like the badunts, or like the... yeah.
And there's Tombstone. They've had many good opening engagements in the last map. A little quieter here. But we've seen wake-up calls for Yas and Char. And even the consistency of the teammates. But Tombstone gets 2. And we mentioned Seymour being such a complete team. And perhaps this is a response from Grafton to that comment to show us that it is not the Yas show. There are other players on this team who are capable, and they are showing it. Oh, the missed shots, though. Tombstone opens the round, but now is dead. Still gives his team a 1-man advantage, despite the later death.
30 seconds
But they can
left.
pick up his weapon here,
Cage triggered.
and that'll give them a chance. And they're banking on an A execute, it seems, perhaps. One in CT, one in B. This is an advantage for these attackers, in fact. If they're aware, but they're not. And the peek out is going to net a few kills from those last two defenders, iQuib and Hotshot. And all of a sudden, after being down 5 rounds,
Grafton
We're
is
within
making
one.
the comeback that we thought would never happen.
we mentioned, oh, we've never seen them here before. Oh, they've never actually been in this situation before. What will they do? Will they falter?
Here.
And
Here.
just to answer that, doesn't seem like it.
Time and
Because
time, they come back under pressure.
maybe they just wanted to make it interesting. Maybe they just wanted to make it a better story. But here's a 5-stack on B, something we have not really seen from the side of Seymour. And the utility is not slowing them down enough. The molly will make them have to go the long way in to B. But that's all it does. There's no players here.
That was
If
a quick and
Grafton want
easy
to make
plan.
this-
They got to be waiting for them.
They want to make this happen into a even round count. They have to win the 5v5 post plant. Two players just shooting through the smoke, and then the reload. Char. Unfortunate. iQuib gets one, yes, but Seaman and Waffles also refragging. Yas trying to stay alive and keep this round alive in the 2v2. And with Tombstone with an op, you know it's a possibility, but with no time. Do they get it in time? Tombstone.
they do.
I don't think they have it. Unfortunate. Oh no!
Wait,
Yas.
clutch?
They
What?
tried it, but the bomb explodes. And it's just too little, too late. Half a second and they have it.
It's like
And by
clutch,
the
and I got so
skin of their
happy.
teeth, Seymour maintain the round advantage.
Tombstone again, being able to get those frags when needed.
Placing swarm grenade.
Great awareness by Tombstone.
They had just been a little faster. If they had just maybe planned to hold B down and delay them longer. It's just a lot of what ifs, but right now, the reality is it's 11-9. And Seymour, despite letting a lot of rounds go, still are within 2 on this map at this moment. And another B execute comes through. And they're not ready for it. They have to rotate all through market and through CT. And using the ult, X minus minus is hoping to catch someone coming through that CT side, and it doesn't work. Yas gets a trade, but can't find anything else using all those knives, but the only headshot does find X minus minus to put them up a man. But the spike in the meantime has gone down, and swinging through market and not taking the shots is Waffle getting slapped down instead.
Last player standing.
And the stomp, the foot on the throat, as 4 players survive, and the defuse comes through.
I honestly think Seymour should have won that round. They had multiple people miss shots, miss like that swing around that should have been pretty easy pickup. Good job by Grafton for capitalizing off their mistakes though, and still making it close. Obviously, it's 11-10 in game 2, as Grafton does have the 1 map lead. So all the pressure is still on Seymour, but they still are comfortable as it is their map.
And we say that, but looking at the other side after that win, what do the attackers even have in their hands for this attack? Oh, it's a light buy, a marshal, a sheriff, a ghost pistol. This is not the buy you want going into a tying round, difference-making round towards the end of this map. And you are down 1 map, like you said. Seaman with the ult, though, gets Tombstone, giving them the man advantage. Seaman takes that Tombstone up and gets iQuib as well. And what was an econ round has now turned into a very winnable one to put them up 2 and 1 away from map 3.
Yeah, it's trying to push in a bit.
And Yas and the only hotshot are trying to stop this. They know how dire and necessary it is for them to win this round here and now, but the time is ticking down so far. Can they even do anything? Yas, yes, you're getting bodies, but are you getting the defuse? So far, it's not coming through. Do they have the time? They do. Just enough. And 11 all as Seymour. They probably feel like they've let this slip away.
They kind of have, though. They're making simple mistakes, and Grafton is just capitalizing on them. I think Seymour still has had good plans and good attacks. They just aren't finishing. If they can find those final blows, I mean, Yas and Tombstone being able to get those frags late, they'll be able to still come out on top.
I'll be honest, I thought that bomb was closer than it was to going off.
It wasn't close at all.
But it wasn't close. I realized with the ticking, I'm like, whoa, what the? The op shot missed, though. Yes, they've brought it back to even, but this aggression doesn't slow. But now they have to. With that orbital strike,
No more charges left.
doing a little bit of damage. But the full execute comes through onto B. And a double shot. One of them with the wall bang. Another shot lands and gets the 3-piece for Tombstone. It's a flawless round for Grafton to put them on map and match point. Overtime is the best you can get. Do you call the timeout right before this final round? It's either overtime
I don't see why you don't.
or it's over. It's Grafton. They can taste victory. They can smell the line being drawn in front of them. The blood is in the water, and the sharks are swimming. Opening engagements. A premium in this matchup.
Holding good angles here. Kind of reading it well. Knowing they would come. I'm assuming they're also going to probably expect them to rotate out.
And here comes the execute, and in wait is Yas with the only hotshot who's been so consistent. They're up 5-2,
Remaining.
5-1, 5-0.
Flawless to win it all.
The finals, the winner. Grafton 2-0, quadruple overtime, and a 13-11 second map on their opponent's choice to take them to the trophy and to the winner's stage. And that is going to be it for this matchup. Yas and the only hotshot standing at the top, putting their team on their shoulders. We will have a short break as we bring in one of these players or the coach, whoever we get for this interview, to help us understand what this means to this winning team. We'll be right back.
The ground shake.
All right, welcome back. I get the honor of talking to Matthew here, the MVP of our Division II final here. So first off, congratulations. So I guess starting at the very beginning, with this being our first season of Valorant, going into it, did you have this expectation that you wanted to, or that you thought that you would be in the spot that you're at this evening?
So I was hoping for it, obviously, but going into it, being our first season doing it, or I guess only season as I'll be graduating, I didn't know how good the teams were, so I was kind of like worried. At the same time, having the teammates I had, including who I know you said I was the MVP, but I honestly think it should be Yas.
Okay.
Because he had 240 pieces during the tournament, but yeah, so I thought we definitely had a good chance, but I didn't think we'd roll through the regular season as easy as we did, and including into this final game where it was close.
So into the final game, we did run into a lot of technical complications. Do you think that set both teams back, or was there a way that you kind of mentally rallied? Because I know it was, I know how it felt for me. I can't imagine being a player going and getting iced up like that.
It definitely, I was sitting there kind of tired. I was like, man, I'm just trying to go home. And when more issues kept arising, I was getting more and more tired. But then I could kind of tell that they were kind of getting fed up with it too. So in my back of my mind, I was like, it's not really putting us at a disadvantage. It's like everybody's at a disadvantage. So it kind of felt like when you're going into the game, like you see, we started off off very cold. It kind of felt like we had a cold starts to both games, and we had to kind of fight back because of that, though, I would say.
If you could give advice to other programs for next year, kind of after what you've gone through this year, what kind of advice would you give them in order to be able to improve their quality week in and week out?
I would say what I noticed a lot, especially from today, from the teams that I watched lose, is just use the utility that Valorant gifts you with. A lot of the times I was seeing guys dry peek angles, not use flashes they have. And you could see from my stats where I have 16 assists, I think all 16 were from flashing for my teammates, and they're getting easy kills because of it.
So I guess communication is probably one of the major points too. With that being said, how often did you as a 5-stack play together? How much did you practice? Did you go in and like do the interactive maps, like placing smokes here and here and like?
So fun fact, we VOD reviewed one time, I think 3 weeks into the 3 weeks into the season, but we never practiced as a 5-stack once during the whole season. We played, me, Tombstone, and Char play together a lot. Occasionally Yas would play with us, and occasionally Quib would be playing with but we never have this exact 5 ever playing together, not once.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to shout out? I'm okay if you shout out. You can shout out your socials.
Yeah. So we have a Twitch that we stream on. I think it'll be kind of put to bed until next esports season. But Grafton High Esports, HI, but no GH for the Twitch. And then we've got, I think, Twitter that's the exact same as that as well.
Awesome. So this is going to close out the Carthage Esports channel for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. I know it's been a very long day. Some of us have been up since 4:45 in the morning. Some of us won't get home until about 1 a.m. But I know some of us missed graduation parties. Hopefully some of our international students made their flights this evening. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Carthage Esports for hosting us. We look forward to being back next fall with an upcoming season, and look forward to bringing in about 40 more schools to the state association. So thanks for joining us today. Have a good night. Division 1 is going on upstairs over on the WIHSEA Twitch. Park was up 1-0, I believe. So, and that'll be our last one of the night. And then we all get to go home, go to bed.